I'm live. Do we have Alethea on yet? I didn't get the notification yet either. Let's see. All right. It's April 1st, 2021. We are in the building live. Let me just share real quick so I can follow the comments along on my own while we're talking, because we're getting into something deep today. It's April Fool's Day, but it ain't no fool, and ain't gonna be no fool when we talk about this. That's the whole point of this, right? Because the camera's right here. Boom. All right. So let me just share. And I just want to thank any and everybody that's jumping on right now. I have a special guest today, and we just getting in a conversation on Sexual Assault Awareness Month. I am C. Wrights, and it's your voice here on A Radio. We're here. We are here, okay? Let me see. I'm going to find it live so I can share it. Okay, here we go. And I'm following. I also have a special guest today to have a conversation with me because as people has watched over the past year, one of the things that I'm really, really big on is going to therapy and normalizing therapy again, or at least just to normalize it. Did you accept Alethea on yet? Because I do have a specialist in the game to have this conversation to kick off about Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Once again, I'm just going to give anybody a second to just jump on real quick. I am C. Wright, so it's about to get kind of heavy in here because, on It's Your Voice, I just want to use my voice to have the conversations that a lot of us don't have. And right now is one of the perfect times to even have that conversation. I'm also told that this month is also Autistic Awareness Month and something else. It's another awareness month. But one of the biggest things that I am on is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And once again, I am C. Rice. And who people don't know me outside of A Radio, I am executive director of a Philly-based nonprofit called It's My Movement. And our mission is to break the cycle against youth who are victimized by sexual abuse. And this is the perfect time to have this conversation. So this coming April 22nd, we are having our first event, having a conversation about sexual abuse prevention. We just want to bring awareness to, we actually just want to draw on to the parents of teenagers, parents of preteens, and just start the conversation about not even just sexual assault, but also about teen dating violence, because that happens. Sex education, because a lot of our parents aren't having that conversation. We're talking about predatory behavior as well as sexual assault in its own right, because that is one of the things that is just not spoken about, amongst family, amongst people, is one thing that make sure that you add Alethea on.
I'm actually here, Camilla.
Sexual assault is one of those things where it's a touchy subject, even for people who also experience sexual assault. And It's My Movement is ready to be the voice, ready to bring the alarm, ready, like we are ready, to bring awareness to the community, bring awareness to the community, bring awareness to our people about options. and the power that they can take back within themselves, not even just females but also males, because people don't realize that males are also sexually abused as well. It's just not spoken about. And it's not just homosexual men, it's also heterosexual men as well. I mean, it's not just heterosexual men, it's also homosexual men as well who are sexually abused, and it's not spoken about. So it's your voice. All this month I'm using my voice with ever who I have by my side. Alethea is here with me today to touch on this conversation. She is a licensed professional counselor, and she also have a therapy practice in Jenkintown called Counseling on the Hill. And I met her through one of A Radio's own, Decent, the comedian, and we've been everything ever since. So, and I just wanted to bring her on today because she also specializes in trauma, and she also specializes in PTSD, and everything's outside of the fact that she is too a therapist. We just trying to get her on. I just saw a pop in and then it went away.
I'm here actually. Hey Camilla, I'm so glad to be here tonight. How are you?
She was just on there. I don't know. Okay, there I see that again.
I'm actually here. Can you hear me?
I see her camera isn't on. Is her camera on? When she first came in, I saw her. And
Can you see me now?
keep talking, Alethea. Okay, I see you now. Hey girl. Hey.
How are you? Thank you for having me this evening. It's such a privilege to be here.
Thank you for just joining me, just so suddenly out of the blue. But it wasn't going to stop the fact of it is Sexual Assault Month, and we have to start the conversation.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, and like I just gave a little background before you jumped on and everything.
I was able to hear everything. I think it was some technical difficulty. I saw you.
Okay. It was just a little technical difficulties. So I just wanted to get you on real quick. Just get you on as much time that you can give, because I know that you are busy. But I just wanted to touch on the conversation, because one of the things that I've always, me and one of A Radio's own, Queen Fears, has always express is the importance of normalizing therapy in a Black community. And right now is one of those times to even do that, with it being Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And I want to trigger. I want to trigger it. I want to start the conversation. I want to get people talking about it. I want people to start expressing what they've been through. I want people just to not be a slave to just being a victim of sexual abuse, So
I agree.
I want you to touch on, a bit on what you do. I gave a little background.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I want them to hear from your own voice, and expressing the importance on touching on the conversation of sexual assault awareness as it relates to trauma.
Absolutely. And I just like to add, Camilla, I think a lot of us really don't understand the seriousness of it and how prevalent it is today. And based off of the CDC, it says out of 91%, okay, of childhood sexual abuse is being done by individuals that these children know.
Yep.
And it's someone close to them, someone right there in that same proximity that they are. So This is so important for us to be able to be aware of what actually goes on. Because, just leaving our children with Auntie Sue or Uncle Tom, we haven't a clue of what goes on in individuals' minds. And a lot of the therapy that I do provide, we find that when there is a sexual abuse and it's done by someone in the family, these children are extremely traumatized, but sometimes they don't want to share it
And then
because it's so close.
now with just being like, see, one of the things is when we started with the movement and everything is that with the pandemic and everything going on, we can only imagine those people who was going home every day to their predators. And now they are basically a slave to them at this moment. And it's like their hearts. I just pray for their hearts that we can even just like reach in, because we don't even know who's really saying something, who's not, who's
Absolutely. And it's happening every single day.
every single
You
day.
know, and another statistic is 1 out of 3 girls and 1 out of 4 boys are being sexually assaulted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's important for us to really, really become aware of it, because we have to help them with the courage that they need.
And we are responsible for those little lives that's coming up in the next 10 to 15 to 20 years. Like
Absolutely.
we are responsible for that. So it's like with the movement and everything. And I just want to give a disclosure that Alethea is one of the therapists who is on the presentation that we're giving on the 22nd, who helped create that presentation that we are presenting on the 22nd. And so we amongst ourselves are already aware of the importance of that it is to have this type of conversation, because we're trying to save lives. Like we're not out here like looking for people who's already like, oh, this is already set in stone, like with DCFS or something like that. But like we're looking for those little voices that's trying to reach out, and
Absolutely.
they haven't said anything yet, or they plan on saying any. They plan on saying stuff, and it's the pieces that's in this presentation that we all have created. Everybody on board done an amazing job. You, Alethea, gave the most incredible information, especially when it comes to educating our people on like the process of even just going through this, either as a victim or as a parent of someone who have a child who's being sexually abused in the home and is not aware of it, may be aware of it, ignoring it, but don't know until they see that we address the signs,
Absolutely.
and it
Absolutely.
from like mine like comes from my personal experience. I'm not like, I'm not college educated on this. This is my life experience, and I knew that with starting the movement and everything, it would just serve my purpose on what God really want me to do, and I fully believe in the fact that God qualify you for things that a lot of people say that you aren't qualified for. So
I agree.
I just want to ask a mental health professional, um, what advice would you give to a parent who they may have the idea that their child is being sexually abused right now, as we're going through the pandemic and things are starting to open back up? What
Mhm.
advice would you give to them?
The best advice that I could possibly give is communication. I don't care how old the child is, communicate.
Right,
And there's ways that you can communicate with the child. You let a child know, even if they're 1 years old, 2 years old. You show them different areas on their bodies that is that's a yay and that's a nay. You
right,
don't touch this area. If anybody touches this area, you come to mommy. And
exactly.
and like you said, it's our responsibility to protect them. You
Hmm.
see what I'm saying? So whatever a child says or brings to our attention, we need to accept it as being fact.
Right,
What,
exactly.
we're not there to do the investigation. We're there to protect at that moment.
Yeah.
And it is our job to make sure that we believe what they say. I have so many,
Mm-hmm.
come across so many instances where the child grows up and says that they told their parents and that they were called a liar.
Mm-hmm.
That is not the job for as a parent. The job as a parent is to, when it comes to sexual abuse, you are to protect that child.
Period.
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 And I don't care if it's a man or a woman that you've been involved with for years. That child comes first.
Period.
Period.
always. And no matter what age they are, no matter what age they are, and it just breaks my heart for the people and the little people who are continuously living in these households where the parents are calling them liars. The parents are like the daughters are fast because they're teenagers, the sons are just all over the place because they don't want to look at who the actual predator is in the house. And it goes back to, it's a pandemic. It's still a
Absolutely.
pandemic. And
I feel for them as well, Camilla, because they have nowhere to go.
mhm,
They may be in that same household, and this may be something happening to them on a daily basis.
right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it is crucial for us to be able to save our children.
It is. It is. It truly is, because who else is going to do it? Who else is going to do it? And then, like, when we do come, or maybe we don't. And that's the point of us having this presentation, is that we want to reach out to the kids who are having this idea that, like, I feel like my space is being violated. They just need that confirmation. I want us to be that confirmation that they needed to, like, even just come forward, you know what I'm saying? And us joining together as people, it just pushes, and it goes back to just and, like, expressing how important it is for us people, not even just people of color, just us people in general, that it is for us to go to therapy. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? For us to deal with our traumas, for us to deal with the things that's been going on, because, like, some people call certain things like generational curses, which is, I believe is true. I don't, let's say my mom is about 60. My mom will be 60 this year. And I feel like people along that I'll say that 10-year span, 50 to 60 span, maybe a little bit 65. And this is just my personal thought. I'm not, you may know more than what I do. Hey, don't get me wrong. But my personal feeling is that, like, that's a generation that was brought up not to speak up on the things that they've been going through, who have been told that they're liars, who have been beat because they were looking for help, and the family wanted to keep things on a hush hush, and they still inviting that uncle over who that they already know, but let's treat them like a normal person. And then you have us, people who came from that.
Right.
Then you have us. And I just feel like I want to, as a 30-year-old, I feel like I just want to prevent the next generation of 30-year-olds who are lost people in this world, because there are a lot of youth who are really, really smart, like, really, not even just smart, like, but just have the potential to just really change this world. And I'm pretty sure that was a lot of us back in those days. But imagine all that without us healing from that trauma,
Mhm.
even beginning to heal from that trauma. Like, I meet it's people 40, 50s, whatever, and beyond, and they still mentally 25, they still mentally 12.
Absolutely.
And it's a cycle.
It definitely is.
It's a
Yeah.
cycle.
I would recommend for everybody to really open your mouths when it comes to children.
Mhm.
Anybody in the household, if you have children in the household, conversate, get them used to talking, develop a rapport with the child,
Right.
develop a friendship, a relationship with the child so that the child feels comfortable
And safe.
and safe. And let that child know that if there's anything that's happening, that this is a safe place for them to come and that you're that person.
Exactly.
If they know that they have someone that they can come to,
Mm,
they will do it.
they will.
Out
They,
of the mouths of babes, they will do it.
hmm Which is why I feel like it was like, while we were creating a presentation, I feel like it is just so important that I'll see my friend. So when I said it to my cousin, I was explaining it to her. She like, "Are you sure you mean trigger?" And like, I'm almost certain that I want to be a trigger. I want to be a trigger. Like to like the anybody who's just like you never know, like anybody could come along and say it's sexual assault awareness month, and that 14-year-old who's like, yeah, my stepdaddy looking at me weird, whatever, this is what's going on. Oh, this is a conversation about information, so I'm going to pay attention. If
Mm-hmm.
they decide to pay attention and they learn how to speak up, they find identifiers that identify with them, and then at the end of that presentation, what they gonna do is knock on that door.
And I think it's important for us to be able to give them courage as well in the presentation to leave a number. Say, listen, if you want to be anonymous, and you just need somebody to talk to, here's a number. Reach out, because I'm willing to provide my information when we give a presentation. If someone is scared and they need someone to outreach to, we should be there. We
Yeah,
should be right there to advocate for them.
yeah.
We need to provide the resources that they don't have the strength or the courage to do, or may not even know where to turn to.
Exactly. Because what a lot of people fail to realize that sexual assault is just a root for a lot of things. It's a root for like drug addiction. It's a root for alcohol addiction, homelessness, suicide. A lot of stuff is stem all off the lines of just being sexually assaulted. And we lost a lot of
Absolutely.
our children, we lost a lot of our adults, and we lost a lot of our people. And people don't realize how important mental health really is.
Absolutely.
It really is. And people bypass it because, you know, it's something that you can't see. It's something that you can feel it, but it's really something that you can't see unless like you actually look like what I've been through. I can't say that I mean I look okay today,
Right.
but
Right.
I ain't gonna say that I look like what I've been through, you know what I'm saying? And we just have to cut that cycle.
Absolutely.
We have
Absolutely.
to cut that cycle. I feel like that's gonna be one of our ways in the world to make it a better place because I can like count my whole body cells on how many people that's just in my generation alone who are just lost people because of what
Absolutely.
they've been through, because of their trauma, and because people never really take the time. And you know what I realized? A lot of people don't take the time to heal or deal with their trauma until they either one or two things. Either they have children or they have children, they realize that they creating a destructive household, or they get married. They spend their life with another person. And one thing that I feel like we need to normalize is us spending time to have the self-care and the self-love within ourselves to heal that trauma by ourselves so we don't spend a lot of time just like, putting band-aids and
And
eight.
shoving things under the rug because we don't want to face it.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of families do. They
Mm,
shove it under the rug. They don't want to talk about it because they don't want to act as if it ever happened. But
yeah.
that doesn't, and that's one of the reasons why I specialized in trauma when
Mhm.
I was in grad school, because I looked at all the other courses that I could have specialized in:
Right.
alcoholism, suicide prevention. I mean, you have all types of specialties that you could have, specialized in. But I looked at every single one, all of the courses, and I said, you know what? I need to specialize in trauma,
Right.
because out of the addiction, out of the sexual abuse, out of any type of thing that you've ever gone through, behavioral health, mental health, child and adolescent, every single course involves trauma, because it's trauma that leads you to all of those courses.
Exactly.
It is the trauma that
Yeah.
causes you to become addicted. It is the trauma that caused, you know what I mean? It's the sexual abuse that caused the trauma. You see what I'm saying? So trauma is involved with every specialization course
Mm,
integrate, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to
mhm.
mental health. So that's why trauma was so important to me, because it covers everything.
It does. It does. And people felt like we really like just us as us black people, please, like, let's go to therapy. Alethea is here. Okay. She
Absolutely, I'm here.
counseling on the hill is here. You know, if you don't want to go in person, you can it's virtual is a definite option. You know, seek therapy. You know that you got something going on with you, and it's kind of something to say to myself as well, because honestly, I should be looking for another therapist. Now, my therapist relationship backtrack. What had happened was I found the one therapist in my life that I actually liked, and she broke up with me. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, so where I used to work, it became a new therapy practice upstairs from where I work, and I guess as they was expanding, um, yeah, she broke up with me. So it was just like, so then I'm just like back on therapist rebound for like a whole year and a half, and then the pandemic happens now. So like I'm due for therapy as well. So I don't want to be a hypocrite, and when I say normalize us going to therapy, rather if it's with your family, rather if it's by yourself, rather if you know your child is going through something and you just can't figure it out, that's what help is there for. That's what we. That's what it's here for.
That's what it's all about. And being able to, I really wish we can get over that stigmatism in regards to what therapy is all about.
Right.
Therapy is a form of expression. You being able to express and share what you have gone through,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to get what's on your chest all those years, and relieve it. Have someone listen and give you a different perspective on how to cope with it and move forward.
Right.
When you're traumatized, you're stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And you think that even though you're going through life, you're still stuck mentally, because in your heart, you're still broken.
Yup.
And you cannot move
And
forward
then
unless you process that.
you can't figure out why you got failed relationship after failed relationship. At some
Yes.
point, it really is you.
Yes.
It really is you. And until you and I'm at a point in my life, because like I said, I don't want to be a hypocrite. I'm at a point in my life where I have owned that it is me that I need to heal before I decide to get in any other future relationship. Rather, if I get married, have kids, whatever, it is me. And that's just in all aspect, rather if it's personal or business or friendship, relationship, family, like certain things is just it really is me. And it's okay to own that. And the best thing about owning it is that you ain't got to worry about nobody else telling it to you.
Exactly.
Especially if you in denial about it with yourself. Like you can work like somebody else can say it to you. Don't get me wrong. Somebody else can say it to you. But as long as you already know, it goes back to you ain't telling me nothing that I already know. That you ain't telling me nothing that I'm not already on the handle on. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm one of the
Absolutely.
people that's like, don't tell me what I already know, especially about myself. And when somebody gives me constructive criticism, I guess it sits a lot better with me when I've already acknowledged it.
Hmm.
Like when somebody like, oh, I want to be with you in a relationship, and I say, I'm a better friend than I am companion. And here we are with communication issues. I said what I said.
Right.
Well, that's neither here or there. That's neither here or there. We only what a half hour in. I just want to thank any and everybody who is jumping on and watching us right now. Please make sure that you share the live. Please make sure that if you can't, like Alethea, I gotta be able to leave your contact information
Absolutely.
on our page because you never know. You never
Absolutely.
know. And like lately, it's just really been a situation where the universe has been aligning drastically with everybody who I'm like, in my whatever circles, like in one way or another, one form or another, like the universe is aligning. And if you needed to see me come on here tonight to say, go to therapy, okay, hit up Counseling on the Hill.
Absolutely.
Go to therapy, okay? Because, in the years to come, I feel like, not even just in the years to come, like with us being in this pandemic, I feel like it was a time for us to just, like, a lot of us to just sit still and not really be on autopilot. You got to go to work every day. You got to tend to your kids every day. You got to pay your bills every day. You got to get gas every day. You got to make sure your car is good every day. A lot of things have slowed down since the pandemic. So I say that to say it has also slowed down for you to get your mental health together, because if you're not filling your cup, you can't fill nobody else's. Rather if it's your kids, your parents, your significant other, definitely not your significant other. Y'all just lying to yourselves. Get a marriage and couples therapy with Counseling on the Hill as well. Promo. Y'all can get therapy as well. All types of things. You can let them know what you specialize in. Don't let me run my mouth.
No, it's good. It's good. I just would recommend that they can Google me. My complete name, Alethea Wilson Smalls. You can Google the practice, Counseling on the Hill. Again, we're located in Jenkintown. Our direct number is 267-538-1035. And I'll repeat that. It's 267-538-1035. You can look us up. Our website is www.counselingonthehill.org. And we work around the clock. We have individuals that contact us 24/7. So we will get back to you. If there's an emergency situation, put in urgent. I would recommend 911 if it's anything that's severely urgent.
We could save a life. Yeah.
But if contact 911 if it's severely urgent. But if you need to talk and you really have an issue, then you need to give us a call.
Right.
Okay.
That's right. And if you just jumping on and you missed that and you know who I am and you follow me on social media, make sure that you contact me for that information, and I'll make sure that I'll get you in touch with Alethea and Counseling on the Hill. Like, when I say, like, there's no better way to kick off Sexual Assault Awareness Month with encouraging the factor of, please deal with your trauma. Please. It would do us all a favor. It would do you a favor. It would do everybody in your household a favor. It would do a lot of us a favor if you just deal with your trauma. And if you, because a lot of us was saying, oh, well, I'm not going to go listen to no white lady. We live in color right here.
Absolutely.
Live in color right
Absolutely.
here. And all therapists on board are women of color.
Absolutely.
That it can be diverse.
Yes, it is.
Yes, very much diverse. But I just really think it's important that we start, because white people going to therapy. They ain't worried about us. They getting their shit. They getting their stuff situated. Okay, it's we. Okay, we need to deal with ourselves, and rather if it's that getting that negative energy off your back, out of your life, rather if it's you like doing it jointly with your significant other, rather if it's you doing it jointly with your kids, please just because you can't see it on the outside doesn't mean it's not hurting on the inside.
Absolutely.
And please get your mental health in check, get it in order, and it would do a lot of us a favor.
Absolutely. Well, Camilla, I thank you for having me this evening, and I feel free to invite me anytime. And it was just a really good, a blessing to be able to come and support and make people more aware of what's going on with child sexual abuse. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining.
Okay, take
Get the
care.
information to people.
All right, take care. It's your voice.
Right. Yeah. How long we have now? We got about a half hour left. We got a half hour here. And I just really stand by on what I say, please, please take care of your mental health. It's not just sexual assault awareness month. I do know it's autistic awareness month. If you have a child that you believe can be autistic, that can be like, greater than us on this world, please get them some help. Don't, I don't know. Maybe I'm just feeling it so strong right now because maybe somebody who's watching right now really needed to hear me say this. He needed to hear me say these types of things. And I really thank you for watching, whoever you are, because let's let's just move forward in the world as like healed individuals. And then we talk about, dealing with our kids and dealing with ourselves and dealing with our families and just dealing with everything. Just deal with yourself, you know? That's really the type time I'm on like nowadays. Like, just dealing with myself, owning my truth, owning who I am, and just not worried about like what comes after that because I know God got me and I know God is aligning my steps exactly where I need to be. You know what I'm saying? So I just hope that if you haven't, um, we're gonna share on a radio page. April 22nd, we are having a discussion with the teens and the parents where we are presenting just information on, consent, teen dating violence, predatory behavior, sex education. So if you are a parent of teenagers and or you're a caregiver, just please make sure that you jump on the Eventbrite. You can find me on my page. You can actually find the event on IMC Rights page on Facebook. Like I said again, I am going to share that information on a radio page and it's also on my personal page, Camilla Williams. It is also on my Instagram, IMC Rights, Itsy Rights. Make sure that you register, get your cousin, your auntie, your whomever involved, and make sure that you take that first step in breaking the cycle with your family because one of the things that It's My movement is really, really, really big on and our mission, our values, our goal is to break the cycle of youth that is youth and families because it's not just the youth, it's also the families that's affected. And we want to break the cycle of youth and families who are affected by sexual abuse. And I feel like when we start healing there, that's one of the biggest stigmas in this world that is not spoke about. I feel like once we start to address it, once we start to heal from it, I feel like a lot of our other things that trickle down from it, suicide, drug abuse, runaways, alcohol, everything that like domestic violence, like the things that extend from that traumatic experience. I hope that we can start to lower down the numbers just by getting the people who has never spoken out to speak out because we are here. As you can see, I'm not afraid to talk about it. I'll confront whomever. I come with a force because it's a movement, not playing about it. And this next 5 to 10 decade, whatever to come, we are raising this next generations coming up to be strong people of power, especially our people of power, because we're deserving of that. Our time is here. Period. Our time has come. And I just want to thank Alethea again for joining me tonight. Because one of the things people fail to realize is how important it is to really work on yourselves. And there's no shame in it, which is why I have the conversation, which is why I'll speak about it. I'll tell my story. I'll speak to your kid. I'll speak to your cousin, whoever, you know, I'll do it, just to save a life. And and it's because God told me to do it, and I'm a child of God. So, you know, this is what he told me to do. And with a lot of us, what we go through don't go in vain. So I want to, like, first of all, I really want to thank my board of directors, who's been amazing in this entire process of the movement and getting us to where we are now, starting to do speaking engagements and everything, and hopefully have mentees of our own. Hopefully start to getting our these children and their families into counseling and getting help along with counseling on the hill, because it's my movement, and counseling on the hill will be working together as far as therapy services, because we want to do as much as we can. We want to do as much as we can, and we want to do everything that God told us to do, because as long as you don't, you still got something on your to-do list. Period. It doesn't go away just because you ignored it. It only stay on your to-do list longer. So when you listen the first time, you good. But so moving forward, it's your voice. We'll be going to every other Thursday. I have a lot of stuff going on, and I just want to try to be present for everything that I have going on in my life and everything that I have my hands in. And I just want to be present for it. So, It's Your Voice will start going on every other Thursday. And the following Thursday, um, I'll have a sexual assault counselor joining me, and we're really going to get into this conversation, because we need to start having these conversations in our households, and especially since, like, almost everything is virtual now. So, like, we want to be able to get into households. We want to start, like, having that conversation. Like I said, it may be a trigger to say that I want to be a trigger, but bang bang, period. And I'm gonna do that. Now I may have to get licensed to carry, because some people ain't playing when it comes to when predators feel like they prey is almost being held up under them. I may have to get licensed to carry, but we gonna be good is all I'm saying. We gonna be good. We're gonna break this cycle, and we're gonna continue doing it. And I really just want to thank everybody who's joined on today. If you have shared the live, if you have been considering going to therapy, please do. Um, I'm going to therapy. I got to go. I need to go. Like, for real, at this point in life, yeah, it's me. But I'm not trying to be 40 with the same old song. Like, I'm trying to be 40 and, like, living my best life. 35, 31 and living my best life. You know what I'm saying? So I only speak what's on my mind, because it's your voice, and I'm using my voice. And I want any and everybody to use their voice for the same purposes of, empowering our people, and, like, continuously moving forward. Um, let's see how much more time we got. We got 15 more minutes for me to yep my games. Me at my gums. What we got going on? So, so a spoken word. All right, let me see if I got a little something. Let me see. Hey, Kenethia, thank you for joining, my love. Thank you. I'm just having a conversation on sexual assault. It is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and I just want to start the conversation, because this is what we're doing the entire month. And I just want to step into it in full force and just in full transparency. It does something to me as well, because even though I'm living and I stand in my truth, it's still a big thing to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I'm breaking out of that cocoon. I'm breaking out of that shell of like, just to say that you're a sexual assault survivor, it doesn't make you dirty. You're not dirty. It sounds dirty when you say it. That's why I always put survivor in the front of it. But to be a survivor is a survivor, and queen and king survive. I encourage us all to survive, to live. What is it? Oh, I was listening to whatever these little songs. Lil Wayne he said, "Life is or death is a decision. Life is a choice." One of them, whatever it is, but it is. Let me see if I got something for the gums and the spoken words, because hopefully, real soon we'll be bringing open mics to a radio. In 2 weeks, are we official on that? In 2 weeks, we're gonna bring it to a radio, open mic night, because we've been quarantined, we've been in a pandemic for this long, so it's time for them poets to come out, them freestyle artists to come out, them lyricists to come out, everybody come out, let's see. Let me see if I got something other than what I would usually um as a matter of fact, in honor, not even just an honor, in light of sexual assault awareness month, as we were talking about, one of the things that extends from being a sexual assault survivor is mental health issues, suicidal thoughts, drug abuse, homelessness, runaways, a lot of things. And I wrote a poem. I'm going to close out with my poem called Anxiety and Me. And it's one of the poems that I wrote when I first was diagnosed with anxiety, whatever. But it's one of the things that I know that I've lived with my entire life. And anxiety, to me, anxiety is like another person. Like, it's not, sometimes it's not even you. And what people felt, when you're not educated on mental health, or you don't make yourself aware on the effects of having mental health issues, you just become real ignorant, I would say, kind of sometimes, to how real mental health really is. So I'm gonna read Anxiety in Me. I haven't read it in over a year. Give me a second. So, she has the ability to bring me to my knees. I can feel her need to speak, beating on my heart, demanding an immediate release. Wait, let me start that again. She has the ability to bring me to my knees. I could feel her need to speak, beating on my heart, demanding an immediate release. She says, "Have a drink or roll up some weed. Maybe both. I just need a moment of peace. 3, 2, 1, breathe. You're more than you think." She's visiting anxiety, came to kick it with me. She got me falling underneath. It's an illusion. Not everything's as bad as it seems. Tell that to someone who haven't suffered from PTSD. Worried about things that's beyond me. Past the present, I still feel the need to solve it. She's feeling the need to get ahead without being too impulsive. So she moves cautious, and the cautiousness makes her feel like a target. Oh, she's worried about things. Listen, hold on, let me start this over for y'all. Because I forgot how lit this poem is. Hold on. Let me start it over for y'all. See, this is why we need to have them open mic nights. I need to wet my whistle again. Let me hold on. Speaking of wet the whistle, hold on. No, but seriously. So, Anxiety in Me. She has the ability to bring me to my knees. I could feel her need to speak, beating on my heart, demanding an immediate release. She says, "Have a drink or roll up some weed. Maybe both. I just need a moment of peace. Three, two, one, breathe. You're more than you think. She's visiting again. Anxiety came to kick it with me. She got me falling underneath. It's an illusion. Not everything is as bad as it seems. Tell that to someone who suffers from PTSD. Worried about things beyond me, past the present, I still feel the need to solve it. She's feeling the need to get ahead without being too impulsive, so she moves cautious. And cautiousness makes her feel like a target, giving more light to what throws her off. To y'all, it may seem small because she smiles more than showing discomfort. She's watering her seeds every day, waiting to see flowers. She's internally imbalanced. How you gonna make it without guidance? That's what anxiety tells me. While we are fighting insomnia, too many things to do, can't focus on one, not knowing where to start, not knowing when to just walk. It's an illusion. I've been doing this all along. Anybody can see your strength, but not understand why you're so strong. I've learned to let it feed me, build me up in my soul. Anxiety is a needy bitch. She thinks she's in control, but she's moving too fast. It's time to slow up and observe. That's the result of a past missing a childhood thrown into adult moments. So everything is rushed, turn worry into adrenaline. It's okay to not be okay, and I'm slowly learning this. But she's carrying that bag again, automatic autopilot, fearing that I make the right decision for everything to go wrong. An excuse for procrastination. I'll get to it when I want. She knows I'm a fighter, so she got the right one. She please hold the Xanax. I don't need a double downer. A quick solution. A quick solution to feeling like I'm temporarily drowning. Describe to make describe to make you feel temporarily what? Describe to make you feel temporarily strong. Ever since I've earned my pain, this pen, this paper, and this stage became a new source of intoxication, giving me what I need to release this built up tension from you, anxiety. People will tell you to go to therapy and still push those opioids to my community, making money off of her souls, turning them into zombies, crying about a crisis of a cycle that cycles back to them. I don't know. I don't want your diagnosis. I've been living with this for so long. But you see, she has helped me heal some wounds that's deeper than me. You don't know my life, my source of replenishment. Anxiety and me have found a way to compromise and coexist. So before you judge me literally, open up my book. You don't know my life. The flower has risen. Period. I did it. She did it. I haven't done poetry in so long. I had to get like serious for real. I had to get serious. But anxiety in me, anxiety is one of the things that extends from trauma. Get help, you guys. It is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Please be aware of your mental health. I am C. Wrights, and it's your voice. I will see you again on April 15th. This will be every other Thursday moving forward. And we also have an event April 22nd. Please make sure that you go and register on Eventbrite. The event is free. Please, the event is free. Please just come, even if you just pop in, just give some feedback because we are looking for feedback because we are so serious about engaging our parents and engaging our children when it comes to the topic of sexual assault, teen violence and dating, domestic violence, sex education, predatory behavior. We are so serious about it. So even if just please just drop in for me and just so you can give me feedback on a whole presentation. My people worked hard, my board worked hard. Shout out to one of my board members who just passed her clinical social work exam. She is officially a clinical social worker. Shout out to Stephanie. She's the bomb. But her, as well as Alethea, who was just on a call, who were just on a live, worked really hard on this presentation. I just gave a little bit of editing feedback, but Stephanie and Alethea, they did the most work. And the presentation is really, really good. I think it's really, really good. But I would love your feedback, especially the people who love me, support me. I saw a lot of people who do love and support me. put going on the Eventbrite for Islam movement. I mean, not on the Eventbrite, on the Facebook, put that they were going. If you do plan on like even just like logging in for a second, please register, because we will not be streaming live on Facebook or Instagram. This will strictly be on a Zoom call. Please register if you do plan on participating. Contact me. I am C Rights, and it's your voice. Thank you guys for joining me. I will see you guys soon. And it's always great to be here at A Radio. Good night, y'all. I do need some music, right? I need some dance. Too much booty in the pants.